Oh, I thought there was going to be an immediate cutscene. Well, meet Elpenor, the Lost Temple of Nyx. Okay, I'll go do that. Whoa, and then a whole bunch of chat just shoots up all of a sudden. Oh, there's like ghost dudes. Is this going to be like the Chaos Woods or Madness Woods in Shadow of the Erdtree or something here? Whoa, I don't know how those missed me, but I mean, whoa. Hi, how's it going? You doing all right, my dude? Oh, thanks, man. Wow, my computer's being laggy. I really should have restarted my computer. I don't know why it's lagging so much. Tell me the plan.
I'm ready.
But it's just been lagging like crazy lately. Should just restart it. Maybe this will be a laggier stream, whatever. It's for comedic purposes, comedic lag.
You'll have to pass through the entrails of Gaia to get there.
Entrails of... never mind. Let's go.
But yeah. Such an exceptionally unique game. Want to see more people play? You will hecking pay for it for sure. Oh my god! That was adjusting my microphone. I didn't realize there was guys here. Will plan can be followed by killing the Monger. His plan can be ignored by helping him fight the guards. I'll kill the Monger. I don't remember much about that guy, but I remember him being a dick. Like, I don't even remember what he looks like. Oh my god.
Ugly in life, ugly in death.
Well, the Monger of Corinthia. So that was at the very beginning of the game then, right? You. Okay, well, I mean, hopefully you don't have, like, a bazillion health here. Whoa. Or if you'd recommend games and JRPGs that are your favorite genre, yeah, and there's, like, a big time investment. Ask what? I swear I was pressing parry! Whatever. When I was in my game design class 2 semesters ago, so like while I was still in university here, so my second last game design class, we had to do like short papers on games throughout the semester. We had to do at least 3. Those are the 3 video essays on my channel between the Scarlet and Violet main game essay and the DLC video essay. So that was my Games as Art essay, Violence in Games essay, and Environmental Narrative of Metroid Prime essay. Those were like my 3 assignments in that class that I submitted. Where we had all sorts of different topics that we could write on during the semester, and all sorts of games that we could write on for those topics. And then we could potentially propose to the teacher, like, other game suggestions if she decided it was okay. For the unit of storytelling, I proposed Metroid Prime, and she was like, yep, go ahead, do it. And I was like, okay. And I did one on Metroid Prime. But I don't remember what category it was, but I know that Outer Wilds was one of the games that we did have as an option to talk about in, like, one of the assignments for the class. I wrote them down. I could probably find it here. Did I have it? What channel did I have it in my Discord server that I send myself stuff with? I think it was this channel. Yeah, so I wrote down, like, the different units and the different things. Oh, maybe I'm getting confused with Outer Worlds. That's maybe what I'm doing here, because that's one of the ones I have written down here. Are these different games here? Because that's the one that I have written down under the topic of emergent and progressive gameplay. Outer Wilds is the most unique game you've probably played ever. Maybe I'm getting mixed up with another thing there, but I know that I've listened to a lot of Outer Wilds remixes. This is definitely the case. Alright, let's see here. Tell me the plan. Yeah. Alright, now I know what I'm doing, and I'm not gonna immediately die, and it's gonna be fine. I'll just go on this casual jog rather than running here. Oh, and there's my icons not existing again, as happens. You know how it be. Alright, well, away I go.
Ugly in life.
Yeah, just a casual jog. I'll catch up eventually. Alright, well, now we can fight. Good thing I know where my things are assigned since my icons are not working. Okay. Yeah, so that's just the quick one rather than the long animation there because he's on the ground. Here, how about I just go ahead and, like... And then maybe I can chain it back to him. Ooh, I tried. I can still get back to him this way, right? Yep. Yeah, so do that. And then... Also, Outer Worlds are 2 different things, but guarantee if it's 4, it's probably... What? I can guarantee if it's 4, it's probably Outer Wilds, Outer Worlds is RPG. What? What is this sentence? I'm so confused. No, damn well if you had to do an essay on gaming, I'm choosing a stupidly long one. And then, like, if the professor would let you do that, because the professor would have to be kind of familiar with the game in question. That's why there was also restrictions on what we could cover for what we were doing. Like, teacher either has to be familiar with it or you have to explain it short enough. Because if you were doing the video format, it had to be 10 minutes or under. So, the videos that were those 3 video essays that I uploaded to my channel, the only original one you got was the Metroid Prime one. The others I, like, lengthened for the channel because there's more stuff I want to say. But there are 10-minute and under versions that I have, that I had previously submitted. I'll stick with the axe, I guess. That's what I'll do. Train of thought was interrupted. If it's for art, then it's probably Outer Wild. It was for emergence in gameplay. Is what it's for. Well, I mean, here, do that. I wanted to target that guy because he's almost dead. Imagine if there was friendly fire in this game. Imagine. Whoa, please. Okay, can I just kill you already? Please? Oh my god. Okay, and then, like, here, do this. Okay, for sure, Outer Wilds. Okay, well, I think the one that I have written down there is Outer Worlds, but either one I definitely want to play. And it's Outer Wilds that I know I have, like, a whole bunch of, like, remixes of saved to my playlists. It's definitely the case. Okay, I want you out of here, honestly. Will that guy come closer? Because if I can push them both up against a wall so I can keep chaining, like, my, by this, that'd be great. But I don't want to knock them so far away that I can't continue to chain it. You know. Come on, come on, come on! Yeah, it would have been better if you were the one against the wall. So it would have been the better situation. Oh, well.
I'm going to do to you what I wanted to do to your mother.
Well, I mean, there, and then I can parry that. Okay, well, here, do this. Our world is kind of just Fallout. Okay, interesting. Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to play on this channel eventually, Fallout. I don't think that's a series that I'd really care about doing them in order, / doing them all. I don't think that's that important for that. But I would definitely want to first and foremost cover New Vegas, because that's the best one. I love New Vegas. Such a fun game. Then, like, and then if I do a playthrough of that, then maybe do, like, 3 and 4 one day. I've never played 3, I never got working on my computer, and I never beat 4, I got bored of it. New Vegas was the one that engaged me all the way through. Back when I was in high school. Are we gonna introduce Kazuya to Smash? I can throw bodies? I never knew this was a thing I could do. What? Oh, that's because it's the wrong thing. I hit, like, my special attack button. I never knew I could do that, I'm gonna be honest. Huh. I would have done that far earlier in the game if I had known I could do that. I never knew those were buttons.
Can you really blame me? You and the cult destroyed my life.
I understand, but tell me you see that I've changed. That I'm trying to do good in death, where I failed in life. I cannot move on without your acceptance.
It's hard to roast with you, and then I can try to kill him. Whatever that means in the afterlife, anyway. He does seem pretty chill now. I'll say I can see you've changed.
You have changed. A bit.
My dear eagle bearer, you have no idea what your forgiveness means to me.
Who said anything about forgiveness?
I feel as though I can finally move on. Hades, we returned the monger to Tartarus for you, just as you asked.
Okay, so still maybe a little bit self-centered.
You referred to the monger as a thorn in your side.
And you inferred that I wanted him returned. Clearly, you still have much to learn, Elpinor. We'll discuss this later at my palace.
Still, I'm on my way to eternal peace, thanks to you.
I believe you're forgetting something, brother.
Why would you help your enemy find peace?
I thought you and Elpinor were working together.
El Pinor was merely a means to further along your far more interesting
Why is there
journey.
emphasis on words and
Any chance
subtitles
this means
and
you got
never
more
in their
than
actual
staff
speaking?
now?
Patience, Keeper. A few more twists are still to come along your path. I
What was
look
that sound?
forward to seeing how it all plays out.
Did you speak up? This isn't
First
theater.
Elpinor, now you. I'm so sick of everyone using my life for their entertainment.
It's far more than that.
What are you talking about?
You'll know soon enough.
Okay, the snake sheds his skin. I did the thing. And yeah, New Vegas is the best one out of the Bethesda games, honestly. Like, yeah, I think 1 and 2 are important to play in order. It's just saying that there's no playing 2 without playing 1. Well, like, there could be, but, like, it's kind of important in that context. But, yeah, like, the Fallout series is also just really good for, like, being able to play whatever game. Just because it's like, hey, here's games that take place in the same world and not really much overlap. Like, I could, in theory, play, like, 3 to 4 in order or something or other, just to show, like, how the gameplay progresses. But I don't know if I'd have much interest in playing, like, Fallout 1 or 2. Apart from maybe just, like, a one-off and not beating it just to see what it's like. Out of curiosity, what the heck do I want to do now? Let's go beat up this guy, because I'm going and doing a bunch of those. I need to do those to beat this anyway. But yeah, honestly, 1 is worth playing, but 2, it's a bit similar to 3 and 4 in the silliness of it. Maybe I'll do some research into it if I, when the day comes, I decide to do some Fallout stuff on the channel. Be like, should I do it, or should I just go to, like, 3, or just go right to my favorite game of New Vegas, or whatever the heck. Or else you'll only take 2 or 3 streams for the main game, and then 2 for the DLC, probably. It is also worth noting, like, I also am in no rush to be adding, like, new things all the time to my schedule. Like, I definitely wouldn't mind having less games, less frequent streams, and then more time that I'm putting into, say, video essays and stuff. So it's not like these streams are the only thing that I do for the channel. So it's not like the moment that I get something knocked off and have to space them in, like, a super immediate rush to, like, add the next thing immediately. I think it's this, right? Maybe it's the other one, I don't know. Because I definitely wouldn't have more time to work on more editing projects around here that I still don't really have right now. Until I clear some things out. So I definitely wouldn't mind having that. I've been thinking about potentially starting production on, like, Xenoblade 3 video essay in the near future. And then that's underway. I have been working on some other editing projects around here lately as well. Oh, this is a Keeper's Insight, which means this is still a thing I have to do, and it's the other wall. Alright, well, this still makes progress of, like, stuff that I need to do. I'm fairly certain if it works like the last world. Also, I think it'd be better to have the DLC off or just have someone warn you it's a DLC areas. Am I confused more than anything? Oh, because it's integrated right into the thing. But yeah, if that ever comes, it won't be for a long time. Because, yeah, I still have lots of other stuff to get through around here. I'm in no rush for adding new things. And I would like to get some more time for doing more editing projects around here. Being able to commit more to those is especially the case. I mean, I technically am working full-time right now, but, like, not super insanely actively. Like, my position is technically casual at the university that I work at. Like, I'm not working Fridays, I'm just going, like, Monday to Thursday. And even then, whenever I have something going on, like, I need to take my, Oma to a doctor's appointment or something like that, or I have stuff going on with my truck, then I just, like, I take the day and just... It's one of those jobs where I just work the hours that I end up working. Like, it's not super duper strict or anything. Oh, this is the right place for the thing. There's no way I can phone a friend, can I? Oh my goodness, I can. I'm honestly surprised. I don't know how useful that's going to be. Whoa, let's go ahead and ban that cheap viewers really quickly. It's not even best viewers this time, it's cheap viewers. Like this week I just went in on Monday and then I got sick. And they called it an early day because I felt like genuinely awful. So then because I was sick, I took like the following day. And then I started feeling better. But then I couldn't take the day, I couldn't go in and work the day after that, Wednesday, because I needed to go pick up my truck, I figured then. But then it turned out that they couldn't remove the transmission that day. I'll be talking about my truck a little bit more later this stream. And that it would need to be the following day. So I stayed home when it turned out that I didn't need to there. But then yesterday, whoa! Wait, what? Yeah, so that was yesterday. And then today, Friday, I ended up actually going and bringing my truck home. And I'm not going in on Fridays normally anyway, so that didn't really change anything. So I had like a half day this week. So I am technically working full-time, but like casual full-time is the case. Where usually I'm in on Mondays and Thursdays working from about 7:20 to about anywhere from 3:30 to 5, depending on the day. And what stuff there is to be done and all that. Okay, boobity bop. But you're gonna keep attacking me anyway, aren't you? So my schedule is still relatively open. Like, it's definitely more open now than it was during my last semester of university. Like, my god, developing 2 video games in 1 semester of university? Yeah, bye-bye free time. Like, it's no wonder that all the stream-related stuff was just, like, grinding to a near halt during the first several months of this year. It was going so slowly. Whoa. Like, it's really, really nice not having homework. Knowing that I get home after work and it's like, yeah, that's it. I'm not bringing homework home. It's definitely the case. I think throughout most of my years of university, I did have more time than working full-time. Just because, like, I'd only be going in for, like, the hours of lessons and then I'd be able to get my homework done in, like, a decent amount of time and my studies and all that and then still have extra time for streaming and other free time stuff. So I think I did full-time, like, during some summer. Okay, so we're back. Well, the power went out completely. I can write in the chat, can refresh now. I'm still opening things up again. So I was just like in pitch black in this room a second ago. It seems a decent bit brighter in here because after rebooting all the power, my 3D printer is now like super luminous over there because that's the default light settings. So let's just go ahead and turn that down, I think. HTTP://under3. I boot up the game again. I don't know what I was just talking about. I know I was talking about something. My train of thought is just gone now. I have to reboot the game. I don't know how much progress I had on that boss. I thought I was getting pretty darn close. And now that's just gone. Let me set the C offset on my printer to what I normally have it at. I'll figure out how to do it permanently one of these days soon. But for now, I just kind of have my ideal setting memorized. Chrome didn't shut down correctly. Yeah, I noticed. So something time you at university. Oh yeah, I remember what I was talking about now. Here, it's booting up Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it's not gonna prompt me for Ubisoft Connect a bazillion times? Maybe it's because it booted Steam in offline mode, so it's like, oh, we're not gonna try to connect online to, like, Ubisoft Connect stuff or something or other, I don't know. Like, is my guess. Let's see here. Oh my god. And my headphones somehow got turned up, like, super loud. Oh yeah, and I was gonna turn off the lights on that. Completely off. There we go. It still seems brighter in here than normal. Did it change the settings on my light? It's 1% higher, but I think that's just because I set it incorrectly earlier. Oh, I guess maybe that's my normal lighting. I was hoping you could see the moment the lights turned off. Yeah, imagine there. The game capture is... I didn't change the game capture. Why isn't it showing that? It reset my OBS settings to, I guess, what it was set to before I started the last stream. Like, it didn't save it. So I need to change the game capture back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey from Persona 3 Reload. Even though I was just using game capture for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it went back to being set as Persona 3 Reload for some reason. Anyway, that also took a little while to, like, properly reboot. So in terms of the internet, like, it was working fine with Wi-Fi a little bit earlier. And it just wasn't working with my desktop for some reason here. The thing that fixed it was unplug. Oh my god, I'm all the way back here. Was unplugging the Ethernet and plugging it back in again. Is what ended up fixing it. Maybe? But for whatever reason, I've been having a lot of issues with OBS lately. Where anytime I boot it up, it says OBS did not shut down correctly. Do you want to run normally or run in safe mode? Like every single time. Even though I only ever close OBS just by clicking X on it and like closing it that normal way. But it always seems convinced that it didn't shut down correctly. But I guess it shuts down correctly enough to save it or something like that. Like, that seems extremely odd. Also, now I guess we got that reboot that I said maybe my computer was a little bit due for because things are being weirdly laggy. So maybe the chat will stop lagging now, and maybe the game will be running at a consistent 60 FPS. Because there is literally as little as could possibly be running right now, considering everything just forced shut down and then I immediately started streaming again. Also, are my sound effects working? Yep, they sure are. Of course, that's the one that we immediately hear. Just making sure that those are working, because it's not like I tested it earlier in the stream. Anyway, what I was just saying was, in terms of time, during earlier university years, I would still have like a decent bit of time for content creation stuff. Because while I would have like a lot of homework and assignments I'd be working on, my classes were so short, so I could just like do that during the day. Yeah, no more laggy chat, sucks to suck. During my last semester of university, I really did not have much free time, like, at all, because my time was being dedicated to developing 2 separate video games, which, yikes. That was a decent bit. That was not super fun there. Did I take a different turn than before? I don't remember going this way. No, I do remember going this way, never mind. So, I have a decent bit of time now, since it's just like, while not this week, but most weeks, I am putting in like quite a decent amount of hours, 4 days a week at least. But I do know from experience the one summer that I was working in my IT job downtown, so a decent bit of a trip back and forth. A lot less close than the university here, that, and working like consistently Monday to Friday, that I would not really have a whole lot of time. When I was working that job, I'd be heading out like right in the morning. I'd get home by probably, like maybe 6-ish, something like that. I'd be able to like really quickly eat dinner, and then if it's a day that I was going to Taekwondo, which those are the days that I'm fairly certain I was still going into Taekwondo like 2 or 3 times every week. So I would go do that for like an hour and a half, like when you include the trip time and everything, get back, and then it'd be like 9:30 or something like that, and then I'd have to be up at 6 the following morning, so I'd really have like no free time. And then on the days that I wasn't going into Taekwondo in the evening, I would have like maybe a couple hours of time, and then maybe get like some stream time in there if I wasn't working on like some other projects. Man, this guy really likes flipping around, doesn't he? And then maybe have time during the weekends. I'd really try to make use of my weekend time. So like, while I still have a decent bit of time now, and way more than in the semester, I think the things that are the ranking of how much free time they offer is probably full-time but kind of casual work is here. More free time is offered by like my regular full-time university. And then under that would be like working full-time, like there's less free time with that, like full-time. And then under that is this university semester where I'm like doing game development stuff, because that takes like forever. So in the grand scheme of things, I do have like a decent bit of free time that I won't have quite as much of when the day comes I start working like consistently full-time, 7 days a week. Especially if it's like farther that I need to get to. It'd be nice if I get like a remote position or something like that. When I was chatting with one of the BioWare founders a while back, the one that later went on to get into the beer industry, and that's how my dad knows him, because my dad was pretty involved in the beer industry and still likes to go to events and stuff like that. When I was chatting with him, his advice to me was, don't sleep on remote work, because apparently in gaming, there's like a remote position for every in-person position. So if I got something remote, that'd be great, like cut down on travel time, and then have more time for like project stuff here, where I'm not going from point A to point B. But most likely, when the day comes that I am working like 5 days a week, full-time, especially if I need to actually go from point A to point B somewhere, I'm gonna have less time than I do now. So I can't base like my current time availability as like the norm that's going to last forever, because it won't. I very much learned that when I was working for that IT company, when my free time just kind of vanished. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. So I'll get through what stuff I can now, but I also want to have time to like edit stuff on the side, and I have to acknowledge that this amount of time, it's going to become lesser over time. So, make use of the time that I have while I have it. But I do want to have more time for working on video essays. Like, after finishing up the Scarlet and Violet DLC video essay, I've not really touched anything video essay related. I have touched other editing projects around here. It's 10% damage per enemy engage up to 50%. Interesting. And there's apparently like a thing down here, and I also just leveled up. So, while I have the, extra time on my hands compared to what the future is probably going to be comparatively, I would like to have some of that time be invested to, like, more editing projects. So I don't necessarily want to have things be like, oh, I have time in the game schedule, I should immediately add, like, another thing now. Like, I wanted to with Final Fantasy. Ares' Last Breath, ability enhancement is now available in the abilities menu. I wanted to for that, considering that crazy Kuzma Mad Lad literally got me that PS5, and I owe it to him to play that. And I am also genuinely having fun with it in, like, the one session that I put in so far. I'm sure I'll have a lot of fun playing that game. But I do want to have no longer like the bazillion like games on the game schedule that I would sometimes have in like the past couple of years where it's like, how am I ever gonna get through this? I would like to get to the point where the game schedule is anywhere from like 1 to 3 things, like ideally 1 or 2 that I'm just bouncing around. Like maybe 1 or 2 main ones I'm bouncing between, and then one that's like an occasional project on the side. Like that kind of thing sounds really good to me. So it's like I'm not doing the one same thing consistently. Like there's some variety, but it's still within like a few key things, not like 6 or 7 games like I have had on the queue earlier this year. And then other time, like that's also a better time to be taking less time for streaming and more time for editing projects. So that's this here. Hold on. And then the enhance. Ares gives you 1 last fighting breath. You are immune to enemy attacks. 5% of damage dealt is restored as health, and melee hits received will be automatically parried. So I'm like invincible for a short time, and I heal by doing damage. It also removes the effects of fire and poison when activated last 10 seconds. Okay, so rather than healing me on the spot, I'm invincible for 10 seconds, and I can rack up damage on you to get health back. Which just does sound better, yeah. So I will definitely take that. But yeah, I haven't been streaming much till after summer. Well, that's also because I was gone for like a whole bunch of summer. Was the case. So I wrapped up my last university semester at the end of April, and then I immediately left to go to Texas, from where I drove to Louisiana. And that's where I got this, because of that crazy Guzma mad lad. And I spent about a week in Louisiana. And then I spent a little bit under 2 weeks in Texas, because we drove back to Texas and spent a whole bunch of time there. And where I got the Texas plate that I'm still using on my truck to this day. So I was gone for a little while. And then on getting back, there was a lot of catch-up of life stuff that I'd fallen behind on. Like, tending to a whole bunch of garden stuff. Doing stuff that helps out my family that I would normally be doing like bit by bit over time, but now I was like suddenly catching up on because I was gone for a few weeks. I need to get out of here. I really wish I had Tears of the Kingdom Ascend right now. So yeah, I wrapped that up. I was gone for 3 weeks, got back, and then I had to like catch up on a whole bunch of other things, and then I started being able to start streaming a decent bit more. Was the case, and now I've been streaming a decent bit more since. Alright, so I did that, and now I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. But yeah, I'll say 7 to 5 S. Like, I don't know what that stands for. 5 days per week just sounds so ass. Like, that's usually the way that it would, it's usually the way that it goes. Like, there are some shorter days that I take. Like, it depends. And I mean, it's the kind of job where I can just, like, work whatever hours I'm working. So, sometimes if I do need to take a break from work stuff, I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna be done with work stuff for today. Let's just work on some channel stuff on my laptop here. And that's what I do sometimes. I'll cut things up into parts and make thumbnails and stuff like that there. The reason why it's so long there sometimes is because, oh, is it plural? I gotcha, 7 to 5s for like the hours. The reason why it's so long is because I carpool with my mom, since like she works at the same place, considering she's the research coordinator there. And so I go in, oh, well, hey, look, a best viewers one. This isn't cheap viewers, this one's best viewers, and this one isn't showing on screen. The YouTube side doesn't get to see that bot that I just banned. So I just go in with her, and I come home with her. Unless it's like a day that I'm sick, like earlier this week, where I just take the car home and then can pick her up from the train station later, is how it typically goes. And she has a lot on her plate, like trying to wrap up getting her PhD, since that's something that she never ended up finishing off, like, decades ago. So it's something that she's trying to wrap up now, while also managing like several clinical studies and bouncing between like a whole bunch of things. Like so she works really long hours. Plus a lot of stuff likes to randomly crop up that makes things even more crazy and stressful. Like one thing that I can't get into details here because it's not something that would be professional to talk about outside of those that need to be in the know about it, so this isn't going to be something that I talk about extensively here. But one thing that came up a few weeks ago was a ex-coworker that was laid off that kind of wanted to stir up some drama about, like, oh, this clearly happened because the conditions were awful and everyone was being awful and yada yada, and needing to spawn a whole investigation into the matter to investigate a whole bunch of things that were not really true. And so stuff like that. That's just sudden more surprise, more stuff added to the plate. So she has to be the one that is like the primary person dealing with a lot of stuff like that. So she has a lot on her plate, and I try to do what I can to support her, because like my mom has always been like the primary breadwinner of the family, and still is. Like my dad has been on workers' comp since like 2019. Like he worked at Weiss Johnson for a long time in like I was about to say in Dutch cleaning. That was my summer job at one point, in like furnace maintenance and HVAC and stuff like that. He worked at Pepsi for a long time while in Texas, and then worked in HVAC related stuff, fixing up furnaces here on Getting Back, and did that for a long time. And he didn't really use knee pads while working on furnaces on like hard concrete on his knees. So even though he had spent like probably not quite a decade, but close to a decade in the beer industry at that point, that old HVAC kind of treatment of the knees caught up to him, and he ended up needing to get like both knees replaced in surgeries, and has been on workers' comp for a decent while. And because he loves like alcohol related stuff with the beer industry that he got into, like he's been trying to keep himself occupied with things like taking online distilling courses and distilling his own spirits and stuff like that. Things to keep himself occupied, and he does a lot of stuff around the house. In the past several years, he's been like the main one that's learned how to cook and prepare meals for the family, as my mom and I are usually getting back home during late hours and stuff, and there he is with like supper being prepared. So like it's what works. Like, so my mom has always been like the main breadwinner of the household, and like I know that there's a lot of stress on her shoulders from that as well. So yeah, things are kept pretty busy around here, but that's also why I would come in as late as I do. But again, because it's a casual position where I report the hours that I worked. If staring at spreadsheets and crunching numbers ever gets to be a bit too much, which it is a decent amount of the time, then I can just be like, you know, I think I'm done for today. I'm just gonna work on channel stuff on my laptop, and that's what I do. And then it's like still work stuff, not work stuff for like the university, but work stuff for my own business, and I feel efficient because I'm still like achieving stuff that's like productive in another way. So it's not too bad. Oh, the last one is just the last Keeper's Insight. I don't know where the heck that would be. I'll figure it out here in a hot second. But that's the reason why the hours are super long. Hopefully when the day comes I'm working like full-time somewhere else, I wouldn't be working like as consistently long hours. So yeah, you understand you're autistic and just can't handle not having time be completely under your control anyways, but like, yeah, that's fair. It is definitely pretty long hours. You're largely trying to figure out life yourself. Yeah, same here. Like, I'm pretty comfortable at my university position right now with like the freedom that it offers. Like, and being able to like carpool along and have like my own desk that's in like a really nice position where it's basically turned into a little greenhouse of mine. I have all my plants, so I can also take a break from work stuff sometimes to look to my left and see like all my plants and take care of them and inspect for bugs, and then that mixes things up a little bit as well. So like the location is really nice for transport and my plants and stuff. The job is casual, so it's like free flow. I put in whatever hours I can. So like I am quite comfortable at my current position. The pay isn't anything that's like out of this world, but it's pretty decent, I will definitely say. Like, it's pretty alrighty, considering I've been with them for a long time. Considering I've technically been working there on the side since I was in like junior high school. So I've technically been working under there for like, what, a decade now? Something like that? A long time. More than a decade? Like, if I actually crunch the numbers, because like 7 years of university and then 3 years of high school. Yeah, so that would make like a decade. And then if I start in late junior high, yeah, that'll probably be over a decade. Of course, now is like the most I've ever been working. Now that's like, hey, I'm not doing school, so this is the main thing that I'm going and doing. So I am working a lot now lately. And I would still like to work in gaming here one day. That is still the ultimate goal. But I am comfortable right now. Is definitely the case. You have life figured out more than you, don't have any motivation to do anything like it all, and don't have a source of income. I've definitely heard that from some people before. Like, some of my close online friends have experienced that kind of thing before. But as years goes on, eventually are able to figure something out, and all the people that I think of when I hear that are in a lot better places now in terms of their lives. Is definitely the case. If anything in particular that you're passionate about that you can find yourself potentially pursuing work in? I mean, with how crazy I am about plants, I've had so many people tell me, are you sure you want to get into gaming? Are you sure you don't want to get into something plant-based? And maybe with like my knowledge of programming and that background, with major in computing science and minor in earth atmospheric science, I could do something plant-based or environment-based. and that'll be up my alley, just because it's like a passion. So if you have something that you're like really passionate about, maybe there could be potential career opportunities. I don't know where the hell I'm going, so I'm looking this up. Assassin's Creed, if I can spell that, Odyssey. I'm still getting used to my new keyboard. Let's see here. Keeper's Insight. Chasm of Torment. Wait, maybe I can just figure it out here anyway. Morning Fields. Oh, Chasm of Torment here. Maybe I don't need to look it up, because yeah, it's the thing that gives me hints. In the Den of Judgment, in the southern part. It's gotta be like one of these, right? Has gotta be the case. Whoops. I thought I was hovering over this when I hit the fast travel button. Guess not, and I guess that's what the fast travel button does when I'm not fast traveling. In that case.